I do want to call a guy, and I was thinking about this the other day, and a lot of listeners reached out. Sorry, I got to relax a little. Getting kind of excited. My boy Trick Long Mickey. And everybody knows Mickey, man. He got those new air sacs. He got those O2 sip hitters. Them inner tits, bruh. Those wet markets, bruh. You know what I'm talking about? Lungs. Those fucking rib cage wet markets. And he got and he had rare disorder, and he's been a part of this program for maybe a year and a half, 2 years now. But I wanted to check in with Mickey and see how he's doing in this time. And I think that could give us all a little bit of insight into what some people's lives are like. So, gang, let me call him right now.
Hello?
Mickey.
Theo, how you doing, man?
What's up, man? Thanks for answering the phone, man. How are you?
Man, I've been doing good, dude. I've been doing good. I've been kind of on the road, actually, from my house for the past 3 weeks. And actually, today was first back day home, because my mom was actually out on a cruise about 4 weeks ago. So I had to abandon here and hightail it out if she had corona, man.
Oh, your mother was on a cruise ship?
Yeah, about 4 weeks ago when this all happened. And, that was during, while she was on the cruise ship, that's when it actually got registered as a national pandemic. And I was like, all those ships were being held up at port. And so it was not a good time to be around when she got back. And she knew and understood that. So she was okay with that,
Wow, man. Yeah, I know we were texting just the other day about jumping on the phone, and I didn't know that. So when she came home, were you able to just easily spend time with her, or how rare is this for you? Because just catching up some of our listeners, you had a lung transplant. So do your doctors tell you you have to be more careful? What is sort of the suggestions that you get?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Basically, it's kind of weird. It's back then, about 3-4 weeks ago, it was really inconclusive. It was just general boilerplate answers, always wear your mask. I have this mask that I always wear, and be washing your hands, try not to touch your face. Don't be in large groups of people. And in this case, though, it was kind of if my mom has it, then I can't even live with her. And so, to be as diligent as possible, I basically have been staying for these past 3 weeks, at Airbnbs, hotels.
Yeah, I saw on your Instagram there was a picture, or it might have been, I think it was Instagram. Yeah, there was a picture of you, or a video as you just getting to a place or leaving a place. So you just been on the run because you had to stay away from your mom just in case she was exposed?
Yeah, that's right, wow, man. And I know that a lot of people would think man, why don't you go kick it a friend or something? And what's really interesting about that, and this is nothing against my friends, but I think you can understand this, Theo, with your sister. It's a lot of people in general are just not very health conscious, and that's not their fault. But if I live with anybody, it means that they then inherently have to take on my same living habits. For them, it might be okay that they go to the grocery store, but for me, it's not right now.
Wow. Yeah, that it is really wild. Yeah, so it's you have to live with somebody, or everyone really does, has to live with somebody who their behaviors are exactly what your behaviors are, or at least are behaviors that you are comfortable with.
I think so, yeah. And I think the elderly especially, and I mean definitely immunosuppressed, and for sure with a lung issue, it's just the fact that, man, there were days when I was in these B&Bs and I didn't even see a person. I'd go walk in a park or something, but I wouldn't even see people, just extreme isolation.
And you're a real social guy, man. I mean, do you feel like that was kind of bumming you out socially, like outside of like, having to be probably more health conscious than the rest of us, just, because of your immune system. Were you feeling like a social depression at all?
Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah. I mean, yesterday it was yesterday when I got back to my house and I was driving and literally listening to my own music and the sun was out and I was already just feeling so good, man, just to even be out, be out of the house and stuff. So, absolutely. But you know what? It gives me, I don't mean to be cliche, but it really gives me a lot of perspective again, where I'm like, man, I get to go back home. And I was just really excited about that. And, the amount of perspective that I feel like it gives, and I think it gives all of us after this is all done. I think that we will, at least for a time, the first couple weeks, we'll be like, man, we made it through, and now I get to be with my friends. And it sounds weird, but it's like I get to work, like something that people don't want to do typically, or, we got to break, we got to make money to get bread and everything. But, now it's going to be like, I actually get to be able to do that because there's just so many people out there that are really suffering.
Yeah, man, that's a great point, dude. Yeah, a lot of people, it's like, I think if we look at it the right way, then it's really a great opportunity to say, man, I get to do these things. I get to see my mom. I get to, go fishing with my friend. I get to go to work today. I get to go, and even if my job isn't my favorite job, like I get to go do it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, man. And, I have a friend who, he was in Disneyland when this all happened, right? And it got canceled, and, he posted on Facebook. A
gay guy or not? A lot, because I'm just saying, bro, I got all my gay friends, no joke, dude, they've fucking all been talking about Disneyland. It's all it's like constantly, I'm like, dude, y'all need to fucking chill, bro.
That's hilarious, man. But yeah, so he was over there, and, and I saw him make this Facebook post where he was like, man, if it's going to be another two months of this or something, I'm going to be driven crazy. And I just told him, I was like, man, just try to think for a second, like boredom is at the least of your concerns right now. If you really think about it again, like have some perspective, man. You were in Disneyland, bro. Like that's as good as it gets, like you're crazy. What are you talking about?
But you said that over text yesterday. You're like, dude, imagine if you've been on a transplant list for years or months or whatever, and you're finally at the opportunity, and then this happens, and it's secondary to the national crisis. That's crazy. God,
it's so it would seem so abysmal, right? And at the same time, again, it's just I don't want to sound cliche as always, but man, I call my dad every day. My dad's elderly. He's 80. I'm like, I just hoping things don't take him. I call him every day. I try to call my loved ones and tell them I love them, man. I got a friend right now. He went into the ER. He lives in Detroit. You met him briefly. My best friend, Sammy.
Oh, yeah. I met him when you guys at the comedy club.
Yeah, that's right, man. And so anyways, he went in for a CAT scan today. They think that he might have mild COVID. It's like, this is hitting a lot of people, man. You just got to tell them you love them.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, you've always been really like a kind of like a perspective Gadget, bro. If you were like a cartoon character, I think it would be perspective Gadget, dude. Mickey, man, thanks so much for being supportive and everything, and we got to get you in here next time you're in town and sit and chat and again, man, thank you so much, dude, and be safe and let's stay in touch.
I'd love that, T. All right, man. Much love, dude.
All right, gang, bro.
All right.
Wow, interesting. Mickey had cystic fibrosis in his lungs, and that's when you have just bad lungs, and this, really, you don't even, his lungs, if you look back at some of our old episodes and stuff, he really had a tough go of it, but he was on the transplant list, and he got them bags, and he really got tightened up, and so, he really is a beacon of perspective. Because he's been at literally loitering at death's doorstep before. He's been, remember them people that come to your house to sell magazines or something? Hey, we got these magazines. You need outdoor life. You need fishing only. You know what I'm saying? You need fucking Star Wars magazine monthly. Get it while it's hot. And he was like the magazine man on death's doorstep, just milling around out there. So, and so we're grateful that he answered our call. Good evening, good afternoon, and other times. Thanks for watching that video you just saw. I mean, it was okay. But the next video you could watch could be way better. What if you watch a video right now that changes your life? Well, you could. Watch this one. Or watch this one. Watch this one. Watch this one. Watch this one. Ah!